Next up was the WWE Universal title match, steel cage match between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Now, this one, everybody had Roman Reigns pegged. I was getting tweet after tweet and message after message about how silly and naive and blind I am to think that Roman Reigns is not going to win. It's so obvious that WWE changed the finish at WrestleMania just so they can give Roman Reigns his crowning moment in front of a crowd that was going to cheer him. But I wasn't even entirely sure that that was going to happen. And Roman Reigns' pop during his entrance was not that great. I mean, there was more cheers than we hear over here in the States, but I did hear a lot of boos. So Roman Reigns was still getting booed over there to an extent. And on top of that, just like I mentioned in my predictions video, the placement of this match was going to be very telling to me. If it didn't go on last, I saw no way of Roman Reigns winning. It just made no sense. I thought that would be a show closing type of thing to have Roman Reigns finally overcome the beast, this guy that's been so dominant and so unstoppable for so many years, and he's held the title now for over a year. And when he finally drops it, it's not even going to be in the main event, and it's going to be at 3 o'clock on a Friday afternoon when the majority of Roman Reigns fans here in the United States are at school. I just didn't see it happening. So I was surprised how many people were 1,000,000% convinced that Roman was winning, and they told me so. Well, I told you so. I didn't think he was going to win here. I said I didn't know what they were going to do. I didn't know how they were going to do it. I just felt that Brock Lesnar was going to walk out of Saudi Arabia as champion. And that's what happened. And it was a pretty clever finish, too, because I was trying to think in my head how they could do a funny finish. And I even thought about pitching some ideas of one guy like maybe falling off the cage and winning by accident or something like that. All that shit was running through my head. By the way, the match was exactly what we thought. Hard hitting. Reigns got nailed with a couple of F5s. Brock Lesnar got hit with 4 or 5 spears, all of which he kicked out of. So I didn't see any bitching about that. You know, Roman Reigns is not allowed to kick out of 5 finishers, but I guess Brock is. Okay, fine, whatever. Roman Reigns did kick out, I think, of at least 2 F5s, maybe more. But in the end, we see Roman Reigns attempt yet another spear. He nails Brock Lesnar. They fly backwards into the cage. The cage gives, and they both spill out to the floor in a really gnarly bump. And when they showed that back on replay and they showed it in slow motion, not only did Brock take a hell of a bump on his back, but Roman, DDT'd himself on the mat on the outside of the ring as well. And Brock was declared the winner because Roman speared him. He landed on his back, and technically he hit the ground first. So the referees declared him the winner since he escaped the cage first, which I thought was a pretty funny and brilliant finish to get out of that match, because now you can have Roman even getting a rematch out of this because of the way the finish went down, and technically he wasn't beat, he just beat himself, which is the second time he's done that. I don't know about you guys, but maybe this dude needs to stop using the spear. Remember the ambulance match? He went for the spear on Braun Strowman, and Strowman just moved and he dove his ass right into the ambulance. It was kind of the same thing here. So it's not without controversy either, because there's also the rule that both feet have to hit the floor. And when you look at the replay, Roman's feet did hit before Brock's. Brock's never did because they were up on the cage, on the fence part that was leaning up against the ring. So technically Roman's feet hit first, but Brock's body hit first. So I don't even know if the feet not touching was planned or if the spot didn't work out totally the way they wanted it to. Maybe Roman got his feet down first somehow, and that just adds to the controversy. Whatever it is, Brock Lesnar did wind up retaining. But I mentioned after WrestleMania, at this point, he's probably going to hold it until SummerSlam. I mean, maybe you could do a Money in the Bank match and have him drop it there, since they always try to build that pay-per-view as one of their big ones now. But otherwise, I think you got to go to New York and do it at SummerSlam and have him drop it to hopefully Braun Strowman or somebody like that. Plus, he's on the verge of breaking CM Punk's title run as well, so that's another little bonus. But, I mean, I think the earliest he drops this thing now is Money in the Bank, and I think the more likely option would be SummerSlam, unless they're not going to go another year, are they? Jesus Christ. I don't even know what Brock's contract status is, but I cannot imagine him doing this another year and going into WrestleMania 35 as champion. That would be way too much. So we're going to have to gut this one out a little bit longer, but considering how many people hate Roman Reigns, even though we've got a part-timer holding the belt, which I know is not ideal and it's not great, and I want to see the belt back on Raw as much as you guys do, considering how much hate Roman Reigns has out there, isn't this still better? Nobody wants to see this guy win. Everybody insists that WWE makes him look strong, and he's their guy, and he's going to be their next champion and poster boy. This guy fucking loses a lot. How many matches now has he come up short? He's lost at SummerSlam. He's lost at the Royal Royal Rumble. He's lost at WrestleMania. Now he's lost at the greatest Royal Rumble. Almost every big match or title match this guy has been in since his wellness policy suspension has been a loss. I think we should all pick our battles here and at least appreciate that and not fly off the rails if this guy kicks out of 5 F5s. At the end of the day, at least he's not champ, right? But I'm definitely open to suggestions. What do you guys think? Do you think Roman Reigns eventually does get one more match with Brock and then finally defeats him? You know, they might make it that story that Roman Reigns, every time he gets in the ring with Brock, he's just owned by him and he keeps fighting and he keeps fighting and eventually he's able to topple the beast. Are they going in that direction? That could definitely be an option. Now, if they're going to do that, I'd rather not wait until SummerSlam. I'd rather get that shit over with at Money in the Bank. That way Roman can have a big defense at SummerSlam. To me, that would make the most sense. So if you're going to have Strowman take the belt off Brock, I say wait till SummerSlam. If you're going to have Roman take the belt off Brock, I say do it at Money in the Bank. But let me know what you guys think about the Universal title situation on Raw in the comments below, because I'll come over here and take a look at them.